Gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Ask the Doctor, live on Thursdays. But if you miss us, don't worry. Our core presentations air on Friday at 11 a.m. and Saturday morning at 11:30 right here on CNC3. You can also catch us streaming on Facebook and the CNC3 website, because good health should never be out of reach. And every Friday in the Trinidad Guardian, my Ask the Doctor column shines a light on the issues that matter most to you and your family. From high blood pressure to diabetes, from mental health to masculinity. This evening, we're breaking myths, starting conversations, and celebrating the men and children who keep this country moving. Let's start with the doctor's capsule. Many people around the world are turning to artificial intelligence, or AI, for medical questions, driven by a frustration with the traditional medical system. And of course, it's available 24/7. It's quite easy to use. Apparently, last year, 1 in 6 US adults used chatbots like ChatGPT to find health information at least once a month, according to a survey. Researchers are warning, though, that as AI becomes more integrated into daily tasks, people's diminished self-awareness may contribute to more frequent errors and poor decision-making. So don't just accept responses from these chatbots. If you just accept these AI responses without rigorous evaluation or further questioning, it's going to reduce your own critical thinking. It's going to reduce the level of engagement that you have with tasks. So it's a word of warning to the wise. Further afield, the word parasocial, which is meant to describe an extreme attachment to people like stars, celebrities you don't actually know, used to be a mere vehicle for academia, according to the BBC. However, it has found its way into more common discourse on social media in recent years. Parasocial, and Cambridge Dictionary has named it the word of the year due to how pervasive it has become. And it makes a lot of sense, especially in the aftermath of a global pandemic that kept us confined in bubbles. So parasocial, in which you almost feel a sense of attachment to these film stars and music legends. Root canal treatment for infections were found to significantly lower blood glucose levels. A study followed 65 patients for 2 years, and particularly those who underwent root canals experienced notable improvements in blood glucose, cholesterol, and fatty acid levels, and there was a reduction in inflammation. I know that we've been having some dental segments on the Medical Minds, and it's a reminder that dental care improves not just your diabetic control, but may also help some of the different risk factors for heart disease, including hypertension and high cholesterol. It's November, Men's Mental Health Month. And this week we shine a light on something often hidden in the shadows, the health, the heart, and the hurt of our men. Because behind every strong man, there's often a silent struggle. This month is personal for me. You see, International Men's Day, celebrated every November 19th, began right here in Trinidad and Tobago. It was founded by my brother, Dr. Jerome Tilaksing, to honor our father's birthday, a man whose quiet strength, faith, and laughter shaped the men we became. Now, what started as a small act of love way back in 1999 in our home has become a global movement celebrated in over 90 countries. It's a day to remind the world that men's health matters, that kindness is strength, and that caring is courage. But here's the truth, my friends. Men are dying younger, living sicker, and too many are still afraid to ask for help. We were raised to believe that pain is weakness, that tears are shameful, that silence is strength. I will tell you today, that silence is killing our men. I once had a patient who said, "I can't talk about my stress. They'll think I'm weak." And the truth is, brother, it takes more strength to ask for help than to hide behind a smile. Because courage isn't pretending to be invincible. It's admitting that you're human. Our fathers and grandfathers taught us endurance. But he also carried burdens in silence: high blood pressure, diabetes, depression or anxiety, which were often treated until it was too late. Now, that legacy of silence is one we must break in 2025 and beyond. When my brother Jerome created International Men's Day, he did it to celebrate men like our father, men who believed that gentleness was strength and humility was power. And let's also talk about health, real health. Men are more likely to smoke, drink, skip medical checkups, and ignore warning signs. Chest pain will become gas. Blurred vision, stress. Erectile dysfunction becomes just tired. Your body whispers before it screams. The body keeps the score. Check your numbers: blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, waist size. Get screened for prostate cancer. Early detection saves lives. And yes, see a doctor before your wife forces you to. If you've been feeling down, sleeping poorly, losing interest in things you love, with a reduced appetite, feelings of hopelessness, helplessness, or worthlessness, talk to someone. It could be depression. It's difficult sometimes to diagnose, but very treatable. We must stop treating mental health as a taboo. Real men don't hide their pain, they heal it. And remember, health isn't just in a clinic. It starts in your kitchen and in your community. Why not start eating real food? Fruits, vegetables, nuts, peas and beans, and fish. Cut the sweet drinks, drink water, move your body, walk, dance, swim, play football. You might be better than the national squad. Even sweep the yard, your wife will be happy. Every step counts. Exercise for your body, rest for your mind, and hear this, forgive for your soul. Because stress is like salt, too much of it ruins everything. And what about the men we've lost? The friends, fathers and brothers who ignored the signs? The ones who said, I'm fine, until it was too late. Let's also honor them, not just with memories, but with change. Governments must make healthcare affordable. Workplaces must make it accessible. And families must make healthcare a priority. A strong nation begins with healthy men. So for the month of November, also called Movember, as we celebrate men's health, I'm speaking directly to you, to every man, woman, and child watching tonight. Take the test, make an appointment, put down the bottle of alcohol, stop smoking, pick up the phone, call a friend, call your father, call your doctor, because your life matters. Specifically to the women watching, thank you. Thank you for noticing, reminding, nudging, and caring. Behind every healthy man, I often see a woman who refused to give up. On November 19th, International Men's Day, we remember the man who inspired it, our father. Once more I say, he taught us that the measure of a man isn't in how loudly he speaks, but how quietly he loves. So here's this closing message. Be strong enough to care. Be brave enough to change. Be man enough to heal, because the strongest man in the room is the one who lifts others. It's time for a short break, and when we return, the Kiddies capsule is up next.
Fence Trinidad and Tobago, your #1 choice for furniture, electronics, appliances, and parts. With the best prices guaranteed, there's no better place to shop. From exercise equipment to garden supplies, general office furniture, and so much more. Fence has it all under one roof. Call us today at 650-FENS. That's 650-3367. Or visit us at 1 Union Road, Marabella. Fence of Trinidad and Tobago. Quality, value, and variety you can trust.
Ole, bring on the arm! Make it a Mac Foods Christmas! All over the land, make it a Mac Foods Christmas! The best tasting ham!
This year, make it a Mac Foods Christmas with T&T's favorite ham. We have pork, beef, chicken, and turkey hams, and even roasted garlic pork for the real taste of a Trini Christmas.
Make it a Mac Foods Christmas! All over the land, make it a Mac Foods Christmas!
it a Mac Foods Christmas.
My man, Andre.
Good night, Anthony.
7 years with the company, and we couldn't do it without Antoine.
Happy birthday, dear Alejandro. Happy birthday to you.
Who's Angelo?
We're like coworkers who don't forget your name.
I'm Angelo.
CG United. Good like that.
Welcome back to CNC3's Ask the Doctor. In this fan-favorite segment, it's where little questions get big answers and where learning about health is always fun. When it comes to our children, every giggle, every sneeze, and every scraped knee is a story worth telling and a chance to keep them healthy, happy, strong, and safe. Feel free to send your videos of school-aged children discussing health-related themes to Uncle Rajiv at 800 CNC3. Let's have a look at this evening's Kiddies capsule.
Good evening. In 1999, it found its way, a Trini spark that burns today. Dr. Jerome Tilak Singh, a man with vision, brought unity to his mission. He said, let's honor each and every role, the fathers, sons, each caring soul, a day to talk, reflect, and remind of the heart and strength of all humankind. It's not just fame or showy praise, it's uplifting men in real life ways, to speak on health, to heal, to grow, to teach respect, and let love show. It's not just ties or what they earned, it's lessons taught and bridges burned. So every year at November's call, we are reminded that we need them all. From Trinidad to every land, the day stands because he planned. Happy International Men's Day. I'm Abigail Prudhomme of Saripati Girls Hindu College, and this is your Kiddies Capsule. Bye.
Good evening, everyone. World Children's Day is on November the 20th, and it's all about children and reminding everyone that they deserve to live their best lives. Every child has a right to education, safety, love, and most importantly, proper health care. Every child has a right to proper health care so that they can grow up big and strong, chase their dreams, and live a life free from preventable illnesses, which means having access to doctors, hospitals, medicines, and proper nutrition. Protecting children isn't just about stopping illnesses, it's about helping them shine, helping them chase their dreams, to learn to laugh, to live a life full of opportunity. Happy World Children's Day to all the children out there. I'm Bella Puna from London Hindu Primary School, and this is your Kiddies Capsule. Bye!
To the men who rise each breaking day and chase their dreams in quiet ways, who hold it down when things go wrong, but still find strength to stay headstrong. To fathers who guide, brothers who care, friends who listen, just being there. You don't need crowns nor loud applause. Your worth is shown in what you cause. You build, you fight, you love, you mend. A solid rock from start to end. Not perfect, sure, but who's to blame? Your heart burns, it lights the flame. So here's to you, the men who try, who lift the world and never cry. We see you now, we understand. Our world stands tall because you stand. My name is Theodore Dillon, and this is your Kiddies Capsule.
I'm sure that you will agree that it was certainly an incredible treasure trove of information in this evening's segment, the Kiddies Capsule, reminding us not just about International Men's Day, but also World Children's Day on November 20th. It's time for a short break, and when we return, the Medical Minds segment awaits.
Christmas, every home has a story. Tell yours with bright ideas. From sparkling trees, beautiful decor, and dazzling lights to curtains, flowers, tableware, appliances, gifts, and gadgets. Everything you need is right here at unbeatable prices. Massive savings, special deals, low prices you won't find anywhere else. So step inside and see why everyone's saying it's where moments are made magical. Why wait? It's Santa's Workshop, just with better parking. Turn your home into a holiday wonderland and your moments into memories with Bright Ideas. Visit Bright Ideas, where moments are made magical.
Millions of people are attacked by harmful mouth bacteria. The root cause of bad breath, gum problems, cavities, plaque, and tartar. That's why Colgate combined the best science and technology in Colgate Total. Unlike others, its superior formula fights bacteria and creates a powerful protective barrier for up to 24 hours to prevent them from coming back. Take control of your oral health with Colgate Total.
This Black Friday, get ready to sit in style. From November 21st to 28th, we've transformed our El Dorado showroom into the ultimate sofa haven. Discover lots of stunning sofas, sectionals, recliners, and more, all at up to 40% off. This exclusive Black Friday sofa sale is happening only at our El Dorado branch and it's only for 1 week. Find us at 245 Eastern Mead Road, El Dorado, or call us at 235-4925 for more details.
Welcome back to your number one show for news, views and interviews of all things medical. International Men's Day reminds us that men's health is more than just physical fitness. It's about emotional well-being, purpose and connection. In honor of this, Support Autism TT with our friends Dr. Radhika Mahes and Maya Nanan have released a moving video tribute celebrating fathers, brothers and children who show that true strength lies in kindness, empathy and understanding. It's a reminder that being a man isn't about hiding emotion, but embracing it. Let's have a look at this evening's Medical Minds, courtesy Support Autism TT.
Today we celebrate International Men's Day, a time to recognize and appreciate the positive contributions that men make to our families, communities, and the world. Observed every year on November the 19th, this day shines a light on men's achievements while also encouraging conversations about health, equality, and emotional well-being.
It reminds us that masculinity is not just about strength or success. It is also about kindness, courage, and compassion.
The significance of International Men's Day lies in promoting positive role models and supporting men in leading healthy, fulfilling lives.
Around the world, men face unique challenges from mental health struggles to social pressures about how they should act.
Today, we honor those who defy stereotypes and choose to be caring fathers, supportive partners, dedicated workers, and community leaders.
As we celebrate men in all their diversity, it is important to recognize men with autism and special needs.
These individuals often face added barriers from misunderstanding and discrimination to difficulty finding meaningful employment and social acceptance.
Yet, their contributions are just as valuable. Many autistic men display incredible focus, honesty, creativity, and passion in the things they love.
With the right support, inclusion, and understanding, they thrive and enrich our communities in unique ways.
International Men's Day reminds us that every man, no matter his background, ability, or difference, deserves respect, opportunity, and compassion.
Day and every day, let's celebrate the strength, resilience, and potential within all men as we work together to build a world where everyone can shine.
Today we celebrate National Children's Day, a day that reminds us of how important our children are. They are bright, creative, and energetic minds who shape the future of our nation. Children are not only tomorrow's leaders, they are leaders today.
Their voices, ideas, and their dreams matter.
And it is our responsibility to make sure they feel valued, supported, and inspired.
National Children's Day also reminds us that every child deserves love, safety, education, and opportunity. No child should ever feel invisible or unheard. Whether it is through simple acts of kindness, offering guidance, or creating safe and positive spaces for learning and growth, each of us has a role to play in raising confident and capable young people.
Today, we celebrate the courage, curiosity, and the joy that children bring into our lives. And we also make a promise to empower them. We promise to encourage them to dream big, to speak up, and to believe in themselves.
To all the children listening, I want you to know this. You are important, you are worthy, and you can achieve amazing things. Keep shining, keep learning, keep believing in your potential. Happy Children's Day.
And we say a special thank you to our friends from Support Autism TT, and kudos to the Form 6 volunteer youths who continue to be an integral part of this movement. Thank you once more to Dr. Radhika Mahase and her superb team. It's time to put your medical knowledge to the test, and our wonderful audience members are always up to the task. The giveaway segments are coming up next.
Shopping at Price Club from the beginning. I love most of all the friendliness of the staff.
I shop here because my children love me and I love them.
My favorite section is the vegetarian section. They have such a wide variety, which I love.
I have been out shopping, to check out the prices, but here at the Lewis, it's the best.
I have tried other places and I came right back to Price Club because they are the low price leader.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
In the ever-changing media landscape, we at Guardian Media strive always to put you, our viewers and readers, first.
We strive to uphold the time-honored tenets of responsible journalism.
For us, accuracy is key.
And in our reporting, we strive not only to be first, but fair,
impartial,
and to uphold journalistic integrity.
Above all, we are accountable to you, and we must respect the views of our audience. That is our solemn contract with you.
Keen attention to detail,
rigorous verification of facts,
use of credible sources, and sound editorial judgment.
Keep track of our editorial policies and guidelines, including our corrections policy, by logging on to www.guardian.co.tt for more.
Welcome back to CNC3's Ask the Doctor. It's giveaway time with the compliments of Great Health Works. A special hello to Joseph Sandel and the rest of his team. So the numbers on the screen, we'd love to hear from you, but when you're patched into the studio, listen on your telephone rather than the TV set. There is a delay that creates confusion. And a reminder, if you haven't heard from the sponsors yet, if you're a past winner, please bear with us, because I've been told that they will be getting to you in due course. So our question this evening has been sent in with the compliments of Neela, our beloved ophthalmologist. What is the medical term for misaligned eyes, known colloquially as crossed eyes? So the medical term for misaligned eyes. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ask the Doctor. Hello? Hello?
Hi. Hi, good evening.
Welcome, ma'am. It's a pleasure to have you on the air. Go right ahead. So what's the medical term for misaligned eyes? known...
Can you repeat back that question?
Yeah, certainly. What is the medical term for misaligned eyes? And it's sometimes known as crossed eyes, colloquially. All right, I know it's a bit of a tricky term, but we're trying to expand the medical lexicon for not just our viewers, but indeed throughout the region. Hello, it sounds like we lost that caller. Good evening and welcome to the giveaway segment with the compliments of Great Health Works. So what is the medical term for misaligned eyes? Sometimes requiring surgery, and occasionally affecting vision. So sent in by our consultant ophthalmologist Neela, the medical term for misaligned eyes. So I won't repeat one of the local terms that we sometimes use, and I'll give you a hint. It starts with the letter S. Hello, good evening, and welcome to our show.
Hi, good evening.
What a pleasure to hear your voice, ma'am. Thank you for being part of our family on Ask the Doctor.
Thank you.
Do you have an answer to this question, ma'am?
Strabismus. Strabismus.
Congratulations. So you've spelled, and indeed strabismus, sometimes known as a squint. They're both acceptable. Well done. You're a winner this evening.
Thank you.
Have you tried these supplements before?
Yes, I do.
What has been your experience thus far?
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. Omega XL.
Well, stay on the line because we want to take some of your personal information off the air. So strabismus or squint, it's a delight to hear your voice once more, and it's time for a short break. When we return, there's actually a special giveaway segment. So callers, get ready for that.
Millions of people are attacked by harmful mouth bacteria. The root cause of bad breath, gum problems, cavities, plaque, and tartar. That's why Colgate combined the best science and technology in Colgate Total. Unlike others, its superior formula fights bacteria and creates a powerful protective barrier for up to 24 hours to prevent them from coming back. Take control of your oral health with Colgate Total.
Whoa. What do you think of Kamala's outfit?
Now, her outfit. If her outfit is one inside, is it really her outfit? All right.
We're going.
Are we doing people's work?
Yeah, where?
No, the people's work. It's done on CNC3 on the rundown. Oh, you thought it was here?
Yeah, but
no, it's done on CNC.
During the month of October, as part of breast cancer awareness, J.E. Guide Funeral Home and Crematorium in San Fernando and Princestown gifted a free mammogram and ultrasound of the breast to 2 winners. And for the month of November or Movember, as part of Men's Health Awareness, they have also kindly agreed to provide prizes to 2 callers, so this evening and next week, for a free prostate and renal ultrasound at the South Cancer Support Group. And indeed, I wish to offer congratulations to J.E. Guide, who got the keys to the city of San Fernando, awarded by the City Corporation this week. A special hello to our friends like Ria Marie and Tisha from J.E. Guides. So, the numbers are the same. They're on your screen. When you're patched into the studio, listen on your telephone. And this evening's question is as follows. What blood test is often used as a screening for prostate cancer. Whether or not it's accurate is a matter of debate or opinion, but what blood test is often used to screen for prostate cancer, one of the commonest causes of cancer in Trinidad and Tobago? Hello. Welcome to Ask the Doctor. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Thank you for joining us, ma'am. Yes, it's a pleasure to have you on, ma'am. Yes. Welcome to our show. And it's our second trivia question this evening. What blood test is used to screen for this dreaded disease, prostate cancer? You know, sometimes we'd recommend you check your blood sugar, your cholesterol, sometimes a blood count, kidney or liver function. The HbA1c is a great test, but that's for your blood sugar. It looks at control for the preceding 3 months, and it may be used in persons with diabetes and also could be utilized to diagnose. So it's not the HbA1c this time we're looking for, but it's just a reminder, it's a great tool, particularly for persons with diabetes. You're trying to keep levels under 6.5% to prevent some of the complications such as damage to the eyes, kidneys, nerves, and the feet, often associated with another dreaded scourge, diabetes. And of course, if you're older, perhaps 7%. So one size doesn't fit all when it comes to A1C. We're back to the phone lines. We're talking prostate cancer this evening and what blood test may be used to screen for this illness. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you for joining us. Go right ahead. What's our answer to this question?
I would say the prostate-specific antigen blood test.
Fantastic, and congratulations. The PSA, prostate-specific antigen, and if it's high, it does not necessarily mean that someone has prostate cancer, but certainly it warrants evaluation by a doctor. Well done, ma'am, and you are a winner this evening with the compliments of J Guide Funeral Home. Stay on the line. We want to take some of your personal information off the air so we can arrange for a free prostate ultrasound to your loved one. And with the compliments of GE Guides, we're looking forward to another trivia question on next week's program. Love and blessings to all, and thank you to the participants. Now, coming up next, it's the open forum with more of your questions and hopefully answers. Stay with us. Welcome back to CNC3's Ask the Doctor. It's the open forum where we'd love to hear from you with questions of a medical nature. So if you want to listen on the telephone and then after on your TV set, that'd be perfectly in order. But when you're patched into the studio, mute the TV if possible. I know you don't want to miss a second of your favorite show. As we head to the phone lines, good evening and welcome to Ask the Doctor. Hello? All right, it sounds like we're having some problems with that caller, and I was reminded that if you have a high level of PSA, once more, it would not necessarily imply prostate cancer. It may be due to inflammation or prostatitis. Enlargement is very common too, benign prostatic hyperplasia, but certainly a doctor would want to examine, consider an ultrasound, and even a biopsy in consultation with a urologist, and that's the specialist that deals with such clinical disorders. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the open forum of Ask the Doctor.
Good evening, Doctor.
Thank you for joining us.
I would want to ask if there is any particular surgery for fissure, anal fissure or fistula.
Yes.
And what are the risks involved in having that surgery done? I will listen to you off the air.
And thank you very much for that very interesting question to open the batting, because these are common clinical problems. Sometimes they may be due to an underlying medical condition. So for the sake of our viewers, a fissure perhaps is a very painful issue, especially if you're passing stool. It may be exquisitely sensitive to that area, and it represents a tear. It may be due to perhaps forcing. A fistula is also a complication that may be noted in that anorectal area, so the area of the anus and rectum. A fistula is an abnormal connection between two surfaces, and this could be due to certain complications with the bowels. There are inflammatory bowel diseases such as Crohn's, and a fistula is a complication of this. And often persons are told to use saltwater baths. There may be certain creams and pastes which relieve the pain, and you want to avoid straining or forcing at stools. A surgeon general, or even someone who specializes in problems affecting the gastrointestinal tract, will usually intervene, particularly with a fistula, because this may lead to complications including infection. And like any procedure, you have to consider risks for a general anesthetic because of the fact that the surgeon needs a clear view, and that sphincter muscle there in the rectum will tend to contract and worsen the pain. So there is general anesthetic risks potentially. You have to consider the risks for infection after any procedure. So your doctor may want to consider, apart from pain relief, the use of antibiotics and saltwater baths, and of course regular monitoring. So it's multifaceted when you consider the management of someone who has an anal fissure as well as a fistula, and sometimes even an abscess, which is a boil that may occur in that region and require incision and drainage. That you're looking at an underlying cause, notably problems like inflammatory bowel disease, and the patient must also be screened for potential complications if there are risks, if you're older, if you have chronic problems, and afterwards, pain, infection, the recovery may be difficult, and this may involve sometimes a loss of quality time and indeed time of work. Fantastic question. We head to Princestown. Good evening and welcome to our show.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Doc. What causes bleeding of the eyes and the back of the eyes?
Thank you very much. And once more, very common problem. And there are many reasons for this. Unfortunately, diabetes is the commonest cause of blindness among working-aged people, so associated with a loss of productivity. And of course, we know that's going to affect the economy. So there are many aspects of healthcare when we discuss illnesses. And bleeding to the back of the eyes, so the retina is like the film in a camera, and there may be changes as a result of high blood sugars. This is exacerbated by high blood pressure, smoking, and persons who have high levels of hemoglobin A1C. You know, we mentioned that that's the blood test that looks at your blood sugar control for the preceding 3 months. If you have persistently high levels, this is going to increase the chance for so-called bleeding. Sometimes when we talk about leaks, last week's show, we discussed a part of the eye called a macula, which can also have swelling. These are treated in various ways. Tight blood sugar and blood pressure control remain the foundations to management, but in conjunction with an eye specialist. So an ophthalmologist is a surgeon who deals with problems of the eyes. There may be a need for laser, sometimes injections based on the extent of the retina, and of course the doctor would want to chat with your primary care physician or specialist to ensure that this does not occur again. There may be vitreous hemorrhages, so that term may require various forms of treatment, and sometimes even a specialist with a retina called a vitreoretinal surgeon may have to get involved. So there are many reasons for why someone may have bleeds to the back of the eye. In this case, I'm assuming that you're discussing the retina, and the commonest reason though is diabetes, particularly in this country. Our next caller hails from Maraval. Good evening, and thank you for waiting.
Hi, good evening, Doc.
Welcome, sir. I always like to hear that voice from Maraval. Very distinguished and eloquent.
What it is, it's getting into the happy season.
Yes.
Here's what I wanted to ask you, Doc.
Certainly.
I have my old pal, one of them,
yes,
from the Oval. He suffered from a shortness of breath when he, especially when he goes in the Oval, has a little lime and whatever, and he has a drink or two.
Yes.
What he does, I told him that's never a problem because he doesn't suffer from pressure at all. But what he does, if his pressure goes up, or if he has a drink on the weekend, 5 or 6, he might take, he says, 5 milligrams, he'll cut an amlodipine in half.
Sure.
The next day, and after pressure is perfect.
Yes.
But when he smokes, the next day, he smokes, then he gets real shortness of breath, and he feels dizzy. So I told him the obvious thing to do, I mean, I say it doesn't take a genius to tell you, stop smoking.
Yes.
But he says he can't help it when he's socializing.
Yes.
Is that basically the after effects of being a fool?
Yes. Thank you very much, and indeed, very wise advice from you to your friend, that, and we know that it's part of the Trini culture, that when you're socializing, you may want to consider drink, and unfortunately, some persons also smoke. And as you said, the cigarette smoke may be causing changes to the lungs. We know that there is a plethora of inhaled pollutants which may change the lining of the lungs and may cause inflammation. Chronic smokers would be at an increased risk of a problem called COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, in which there is narrowing of the airways, and this is not fully reversible, even if you stop smoking and with the use of inhalers. You'd want to have a chat with his primary care doctor to consider chest x-ray. We know that smoking also is a potent risk factor for cardiovascular disease, blockages to the arteries, so he may also want to consider screening for problems there to the heart and the arteries, particularly if he's short of breath. Amlodipine 5 mgs remains a good tool in the therapeutic armamentarium for the management of hypertension, but as you alluded, the narrowing of the vessels may be prevented by just changing some lifestyle habits, and no amount of alcohol is safe is what many of the physicians around the globe are saying now, that you'd want to be careful, particularly if they may be causing changes to your blood pressure, your heart, and sometimes even the pulse rate with different people. So we used to say that perhaps some alcohol might be safe, a glass or two of red wine for men and 1 glass maximum for women would be fine. And the truth is, though, that because it's associated with a myriad complications, we now say that no amount of alcohol would be perfectly safe or ideal to recommend as part of a clinical prescription. Great question so far, as we're back to the phone lines. So, just a reminder, when you're patched into the studio and you're live, listen on your telephone rather than the TV set. And we were talking about hypertension from our last caller, single most important preventable cause of premature death. And perhaps I could emphasize too, it's tied into our friend from Princestown, that hypertension too increases the chance for different hemorrhages at the back of the eye, particularly if uncontrolled for a long period. Williamsville is on the line. Hello. Welcome to our show.
Hi. Good evening, Doc.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us all the way down south from Williamsville.
Yes.
You know, my father grew up in Riversdale next door.
Great. I met him recently at another reverend who had retired.
Absolutely, yes, his birthday.
Yeah, Mr. Baliram, he was at Mr. Baliram's birthday party.
He's an old childhood friend of my father's, yes.
Very good, yes.
Yeah.
My thing is, and I'm sure you would be also want to do something on that, is the level of noise with these trucks, you know, the trucks with the loud music and so on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so maybe you could do an entire program on that, you know, together with one of your ENT specialists, if it's possible.
Thank you. And would you believe that we have done that in the past with Dr. Richard Kunulal, who has done some of the segments based on problems affecting the ears, nose, and throat. And he discussed noise pollution, particularly with respect to firecrackers. And we know that's an issue around Diwali and into the new year, and even Independence. So I'm glad that we're seeing some steps towards enforcing legislation, not just at sporting venues, but one hopes that this will be extended to reduce noise throughout the country. Apart from the palpitating hearts of the elderly, the infirm, and the impact of noise on animals, we know that it's strongly associated with heart issues, brain problems, and even increasing the chance for mortality. Thank you for bringing that into the front burner, and perhaps as we approach the end of the year, we would reinforce this as part of our show. And indeed, on my article in a Friday Guardian, I'm planning to discuss the impact of noise pollution and the role that we need to enforce appropriate legislation. Excellent point, and we take that insight from Williamsville. As we head up to Tunapuna, good evening and welcome to Ask the Doctor. Hello. Welcome to our show. It's the open forum of Ask the Doctor. Good evening. Hello. It sounds like we lost that caller. So the numbers on the screen, the phone lines are burning up. Good evening and welcome to our show as Princess Town is in the house.
Yes, Doc. So, good night.
Yes, welcome.
So, I had a problem a couple months back.
Yes, sir.
I use a machine to cut up some metal, and my fingertips got damaged. It's 3 months now. I visited the hospital, nothing is broken. I also visited private doctors. I got injection in the hand.
Yes.
And the both fingers, which is my middle finger and my index finger, they are still swollen on the tip. And they are still shocking. Like shock going through it like pins and needles.
Yes.
And it's continually swollen day and night. And I also went to the hospital a couple of times, and they said that the nerve damage on the fingers. Is there anything you could recommend me to by getting down the swelling in the fingers and the shocking? I'll listen on TV.
And thank you very much for taking the time to call in, because many people speak about those small nerve fibers or neuropathy that may be affected by problems such as diabetes, if they drink large volumes of alcohol, have a low level of vitamin B12, or some immune-mediated problems. Sometimes even drugs may affect the nerve endings. Your case is more specific because it followed trauma or damage to your fingers. The nerves are inflamed, they're firing, similar to wire sparking. And have a chat with your primary care doctor. I'm not attempting to diagnose on the basis of a telephone call, but there are some medications which serve to help with nerve-related symptoms. That burning, numbness, pins and needles, lancing, so-called junjuni that the old folks would mention, can be controlled by looking for an underlying cause. I spoke about some of the other reasons which may exacerbate your symptoms, such as blood sugars or your vitamin B12 level, but there are certain drugs, including pregabalin, duloxetine, gabapentin. It's a mouthful. Some of the older drugs available on CDAP may actually help with symptoms because they impact on not just the way you hold objects, but your quality of life, sometimes sleep. You might be surprised to know that nerve pain or neuropathic pain may even affect your mood and could be linked to depression and anxiety. So those signals which are going to your brain, which are distorted, could sometimes require a review by a neurologist. So if your primary care care doctor has tried some medications, done some basic tests, consider whether a nerve conduction study is required, a referral to a physiotherapist sometimes, because if it's your dominant hand and you're using it for work, it's going to affect you financially too, particularly if your sleep is impaired and the way that you're holding objects. You would want to have a chat with your primary care doctor to decide whether further testing is needed and consider referral to a neurologist. And there is a specialist clinic at San Fernando General for you in the Southland. We stay in Princestown. The phone lines are burning up. Good evening and welcome to our show.
Good evening, Doc.
Thank you for joining us.
My question is with regards to stroke, right? Can you give us briefly some basic tips that we can use to prevent ourselves from getting stroke? Thank you. I'll listen off there.
And you're most welcome. Brilliant question, because it remains a common cause of death throughout the world. And when we're talking about strokes, we're speaking about changes to the brain. We talk about a heart attack. A stroke is known colloquially as a brain attack. About 4/5 of persons may have a blockage to the arteries in the brain, and there is reduced blood flow, so death of brain cells. And that term is ischemic stroke. And 20% of people may have a bleeding to the brain as a result of rupture to a blood vessel. The medical term, a hemorrhagic stroke. And I'm so pleased that you emphasized prevention, because that's the watchword if you've had an episode such as that, associated with a twisting to the mouth, change to speech, weakness to one part of the body. And we know that those impacts may be debilitating based on the severity. And your risk factors include diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, cigarette smoking, increasing body weight, a sedentary lifestyle, if you've had a family history of stroke, increasing age, some immune-mediated problems in young people. Do you have a history of sickle cell disease? Have you been using the contraceptive pill? An uncommon side effect may increase the chance for blood clots. So you want to ensure that you examine your risk factors and ensure that if you're diagnosed with chronic illnesses, you want to get these under control. We mentioned about persons who imbibe large volumes of alcohol. That's another risk factor. So looking at risk factors, ensuring that you do different blood investigations. If you've had a stroke, the doctor may want to do an ultrasound to the arteries in the neck, or perhaps a scan of the heart, the echocardiogram. Do you have irregularities in rhythm? The doctor will now want to consider potent blood thinners apart from aspirin. You may be prescribed a drug to lower your cholesterol called a statin that lowers also your chance for having a future event. So the watchword is indeed prevention when it comes to stroke. Whole tomes would be written on this chronic problem. But with looking towards prevention, monitoring risk factors, and of course the use of appropriate medications to ensure that you do not have another event. It falls under the purview of primary care doctors to ensure that your risks are managed, but also they may want to liaise with a neurologist if you've had such an episode. Our next call is from the east as a Rima storms into the house. Good evening. Welcome to Ask the Doctor.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome, ma'am. It's a pleasure to have you on the air. Go right ahead.
I'm not hearing him. I must
Listen on your telephone. You're on the air. Good evening and welcome to our show. We're hearing you loud and clear.
All right, thank you. Good evening, doctor.
Thank you, ma'am. Go right ahead.
My name is Mary Jaikaran.
Yes, ma'am.
I am calling from Arima. I have my eyes, I did surgery on my eyes for cataract on 12th of May. And up to now, I'm not seeing well. I can't see numbers and letters. My eyes are blurry, and I had recently I went back to the clinic. I had an appointment, and they said in January they're going to polish the lens. I don't know what that means. Could you please explain for me?
Yes. Thank you very much for taking the time to call in. And it's a reminder, it's one of the commonest surgeries in the world in which the lens would become cloudy in the eye. We spoke about the retina, like the film in a camera. The lens becomes cloudy as a result of age. Sometimes it may be accelerated due to diabetes or certain drugs, and would be surgically removed and new lenses implanted. There may be some changes to the surface, and if people are still having issues such as blurred vision following the surgery, the ophthalmologist would do a minor procedure to see if that improves. Now, it's not the only reason for changes in vision, because if you're a person with diabetes with swings in your blood sugar, this may also contribute towards blurred vision. If you've had bleeding to the back of the eyes, and this could actually be married to our first caller who spoke about some of the complications associated with diabetes or hypertension, this could also affect your vision. Is the pressure in the eye high? And this could also portend a separate issue called glaucoma. So apart from the fact that you have had a new lens implanted as a result of the cataract surgery, there may be other reasons for why there is blurred vision. It's a minor procedure in which you are seen by the ophthalmologist, I'm assuming at RIMA, to see if there's any improvement in vision. It does not mean that you had an issue with the lens which was implanted. So I wish you all the best, and thank you for taking the time to call in. Wow, what an evening. Parting is always such sweet sorrow on this program, and our closing quote is very relevant, I think, for our theme for International Men's Day, from Vincent van Gogh. The heart of man is very much like the sea. It has its storms, it has its tides, and in its depths, it has its pearls too. What a beautiful and profound quote. It compares the heart of man to the sea, capturing the emotional complexity and resilience of human nature. It reminds us that even when a man seems distant or troubled on the surface, there is depth beneath, a quiet strength and goodness that life's storms cannot destroy. True understanding comes not from judging the waves, but from diving deep enough to find the pearls. Birthday blessings to the twins, Joshua and Tristan, Kunulal, Dr. Dion's boys. We wish you many more to come, and Dr. Moshanti Ramdat, who celebrated a special day in November. And thank you to our viewers for trusting me to walk beside you each week, in your homes and in your hearts. To my team behind the lens, to the visionary Neela and baby Daniel, and to you, our viewers, stay strong, stay curious, and never stop choosing kindness. Until next time, may God bless you and keep you in His care. We'll see you then on Ask the Doctor.
Ask the Doctor is brought to you in part by Alive, by Nature's Way, distributed by H&J Enterprises, and XL Health TT, the official supplements of the CPL.